This will be for the Khan Academy exercise, interquartile range, or IQR. All right, so one formula that you want to put in your notes before we begin, the formula for IQR, that is just going to be Q3 minus Q1. All right, so that's what we'll be using for this exercise. All right, you can read the write-up if you wish, but it really is irrelevant. All right, these are all basically the same. We're going to be answering 2 questions about the data set. So in the first question, we're just going to sort the data from least to greatest. All right, so you can left-click on it and hold the number down and click and drag that number to the left. All right, so 2.6 is the least. Next one up is 3. Just left click on it and drag that to the left. Next one up is 4.9, then 5. There's a 5 here. Left click and drag it. All right, we're going least to greatest, so the lower numbers are on the left. 7.9 is less than 8. So that should be it. All right, just make sure they are in ascending order from least to greatest. Okay, and we do have that. And then the second question is to find the interquartile range. All right, so remember, the interquartile range is going to be Q3 minus Q1. So the first step in finding Q3 and Q1, first you want to find the median. All right, that's going to be the first step. So if you look at how many data points there are, you don't even have to count. You could just eliminate 1 on each end, or the same number on each end. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to find the middle. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so we don't have a middle number. We will just put a bar in between the middle 2. All right, and that is going to be your median. I suggest you write these numbers out on your paper, okay, unless you have something that can draw on the screen. All right, I'm going to erase the other numbers. And what you want to do now is do the median once again, but you have to do it twice. You want to look at the numbers on the right, and you want to look at the numbers on the left, okay, and treat each of those as individual data sets and find the median of each of those. Here we have 5 numbers, so clearly we have a number in the middle. And here we have 5 numbers, and clearly we have a number in the middle right here. All right, so the greater one is going to be your Q3, and the lesser one is going to be your Q1. All right, and that's basically it. The median of the whole data set, that's actually Q2. All right, you don't really need to know that for this exercise, but just for your information, the median is Q2. All right, so plugging into the formula, pretty simple. We just have 7.9 for Q3. We have 4.9 for Q1. And 7.9 minus 4.9 is just 3. So you put that number in the box. All right, click in the box and just type 3. All right, once again, you can read the write-up if you like, but you don't need it. Okay, we just have a dot plot here, and they want us to find the interquartile range of the data in the dot plot. So you could certainly do this using just the dots, but I suggest you write out the actual numbers. So I'm going to do that on top right here. Okay, remember you want to write out the numbers in order, least to greatest. So we have a 43. We have 3 44s. We have 2 45s. All right, we have 147. and 2/48. All right, just like before, first step is to find the median. All right, I don't want to cross them out, so I'll just write a little X on the bottom on each end. So one on the left, one on the right, one on the left, one on the right. And you just keep going until you find the middle number. All right, we canceled 4 on each side. So this one here is clearly the median. Okay, last time we had to use a bar because we didn't have a number in the middle. We had to find the middle too. All right, so we circled the median. And now let me erase the X's here. All right, it's the same thing as last time. Even though we used a circle instead of a bar, it's the same thing. You look at the data on the right. You look at the data on the left. And you want to find the median of each of those numbers, or sets of data, I should say. Okay, so right here on the right, we have 4 numbers. The median is going to be right here. So in between 47 and 48, the average of those two is 47.5. All right, and on the left-hand side, we have 4 numbers in between the middle two right here, in between the 44s, or the average of 44 and 44. Of course, that is just 44. Okay, if you can't do it in your head, you add the 2 numbers and divide by 2. So this right here, the greater one, that's your Q3. And this right here, the lesser one, that's your Q1. All right, like we said, the median is actually Q2, but you don't need that for IQR. All right, and we said before, IQR, the calculation formula is Q3 minus Q1. All right, so we have 47.5 minus Q1, which is 44. All right, and that's going to be 3.5. All right, so just remember, find the put the numbers in order first. Find the median. So you're either going to circle the middle number or put a bar in between the middle two. Then separate the data on both the right and the left. Find the median for each of those, and that's going to be your Q3 and your Q1. You just use the simple formula and subtract, and that will give you your IQR. All right, so anyhow, 3.5 right in the box. All right, 3.5. All right, and like I said, if you don't want to write the numbers out and you want to do it right on the graph, might be a little bit more challenging, but you would still eliminate 1 dot on each end, 1 at a time, or you could even do more than 1 at a time. But you eliminate the dot on each end, and this would be your median. Okay, but then you have to find the median of the ones on the right and the ones on the left. So it might be easier just to write out the numbers for each dot and then just do what I did. All right, if you get something like this, not a big deal. You just do the same thing I did last time, but it might be a little easier to convert these. Instead of 2.5, you might want to make it 2.5 and 1.5 when you do your calculations. It might be a little easier.